Alright, in this video we're going to talk about simplifying rational expressions, and this is mainly going to be dealing with multiplication and division. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a few examples for you to try to help guide you through some of these problems. Alright, the first one we're going to look at is going to look like this. Alright, when you got two things like this where you just got fractions being multiplied to each other with no addition or subtraction, all you need to do is to multiply the two tops together and then multiply the two bottoms together. So when we look at the top, we got this 3 times this 5, which is going to get us a 15. We've got x squared times x, it's going to get us x to the third. We've got y squared and y, that's going to get us y to the third as well. And then we've got this z and this z right here, which is going to get us z squared. On the denominators, we've got just a 4, and then we've also got this x to the fourth, and doesn't have anything to combine with, so it's going to stay x to the fourth. We've got y and y on the bottom, which gets us y squared when we multiply, and then we've got a z squared on the bottom as well. And when you do this, you're going to get to divide the two numbers, and 15 over 4 doesn't reduce, so you're going to leave it 15 over 4. 3 minus 4 is for your exponents for the x values, is going to get us a -1. 3 minus 2 for your y's is going to get us a +1. And then what happens here is your z squareds cancel. Okay? And you can never have a negative exponent, so you're going to leave the 15y on top, and all you're going to do is you're going to move this x to the -1 to the denominator and make it a positive. Okay? So multiply, you add your exponents, divide, you subtract. Alright, the next example I want to do is one that requires a little bit of factoring and some simplification. So let's try one of those. Let's do x squared plus 11x plus 28 over 2x squared plus 8x. Alright, with this problem, you're going to factor the numerator and factor the denominator, and you're going to try to get things to cancel. So on the numerator, I'm going to do it in red here. The numerator, the only thing you're going to do is you're going to split up your parentheses and your x's, and you're going to say what factors of 28 are going to add to get you 11. And those factors are 7 and 4. On the denominator, I'll do it in blue, you're going to see, first off, I got two terms, and I can take a 2 and an x out. When I take a 2x out, I'm left with x plus 4, which is pretty nice because you're looking for things to cancel, and the x plus 4s cancel each other out. And the only thing you're left with is x plus 7 over 2x. Okay, so we've done one where you just have to multiply and add and subtract exponents. We've done where you have to factor and cancel. Let's look at a multiplication problem, and then we'll do a division problem before we go. So let's do this one here. X squared plus 11x plus 30 divided by x squared plus 15x plus 56 multiplied to x squared plus 4x minus 32 and 3x squared plus 18x. So this has got a lot of factoring, but the problem itself really isn't that tough. We're going to do one step at a time. So I'm going to do the top left in red. When you factor the top left, you're going to split up your parentheses, and you're going to say to yourself, what factors of 30 are going to add to get me 11? And the only two factors that do that are a +5 and a +6. I'm going to do the next one in green here. I'm going to do the bottom left. You're going to say to yourself again, what factors of 56 are going to add to get you 15? The only ones to do that are a positive 7 and a positive 8. I'll do the next one black here. Up here, same thing. Split up your parentheses and your x's. What factors of 32 are going to subtract to get you 4? And as we're doing subtraction, we got to have one positive and one negative. So to get a positive 4, I'm going to have a positive 8 and a negative 4. Because 8 times 4 gets you 32, 8 minus 4 gets you 4. And on the bottom, this is the one that's going to be, I guess, the trickiest out of all of them, is that it's got two terms, and you've got a GCF. Between 3 and 18, I can take a 3 out. And between x squared and x, I can take out a single x. When I do that, I'm left with x plus, and then 18 divided by 3 is 6. So from here, all I try to do is get things to cancel. One has to be on top, one has to be on the bottom, like these x plus 8s, like the x plus 6s, and that is it. So your leftovers are the x plus 5, the x minus 4, and then on the bottom you've got left over the 3x and the x plus 7. And that is your answer. Alright, the last one I'm going to do is going to be a division problem. I'm going to try to do this one somewhat quick here. Say that we had 16x over 4x minus 8 divided by x squared over x squared minus 4. So anytime you do a division problem, what I like to do is go ahead and flip the fraction before I start. Anytime you divide, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So these two things here are asking us the same thing. So I like to change that before I start. So 16x can't be factored. This 4x minus 8 right here, I can take a 4 out, and I'm left with x minus 2. With this x squared minus 4, the only way to factor it is to split up your x's, and then the sign's going to be different, and the square root of 4 is 2. And then of course x squared can't be factored either. So now what you do is just start canceling. X minus 2's cancel. This x down here will cancel with one of those x's on the bottom. And then 16 divided by 4 is just 4. So on the numerator I've got 4, and then the x plus 2. Now on the denominator I've got just this x by itself. Okay, so basically just taking your time, making sure that you factor correctly. And if you can't factor, you need to go back and watch some of those videos. And once you can do that, these problems become pretty easy.